And then this is where things really started to ramp up here is kicking off this week for SMU. SMU added Florida State tight end transfer Randy Pittman on Sunday. Big addition here for the Mustangs. He is a very versatile tight end that comes over from FSU, where he spent one season there after transferring into the Seminoles program from UCF. In 2025, he had 23 receptions for 208 yards, 2 touchdowns in 25. He had at least 2 receptions in 11 of the 12 games played for FSU this season, and he started all 9 games in which he appeared for the Seminoles this fall. So a pretty experienced tight end that brings 1 year of eligibility remaining into the program. So this is kind of exactly what you want between Randy Pittman and Theo Mellon-Orstrom, where they can then give way next year in 27 to that up-and-coming class that SMU signed and their new addition to the tight end room as well. Spent 2 seasons at UCF and did a little bit of everything. He had some carries for FSU as well. So kind of a weird, jumbo tight end, but you're probably a little bit more of the RJ Maryland mold here, whereas Theo Mellon-Orstrom is probably more of the Matthew Hibner role. But nonetheless, SMU is really excited about Randy Pittman. I can tell you that much, as far as who they wanted to go out and grab. He was right up at the top of the list. He had Auburn, South Carolina, and a couple others involved with his recruitment as well. So they get him and, win out over the SEC, which is a good deal. And now you have a tight end room that I think from a health, versatility, and athleticism perspective is in really good shape come 2026 for the SMU Mustangs. And they'll be playing under Riley Dodge, new tight ends coach, pass game coordinator, who will get his first shot at showing what he can do with this unit. And he went out and we'll touch on this at the end of the podcast, but a third tight end was signed by SMU, kind of out of nowhere in a sense, but it makes a lot of sense. Texas Tech tight end transfer Trey Jackson has signed with SMU. He's the third tight end in this transfer portal class. A former Dallas South Oak Cliff Golden Bear comes back to Dallas after 3 seasons with the Red Raiders. He will actually have 3 years of eligibility remaining at SMU. He did not have a reception during his Texas Tech career, played 58 snaps on offense, played 89 on special teams, and he spent 2 years at Texas Tech. And he actually was kind of a late riser, a kind of freakish late addition to SOC for that team. And it came in and won a state championship and was a part of, that continued dynasty now at South Oak Cliff. So big literal addition for this tight end room that gets a kind of a jump ball freak of nature winner, about 6'5", 210, 240. That's somewhere in that range now that he's been in college. It's being added to this room for SMU, and they'll look to get his career, off to a really nice trajectory now that he's back in his hometown of Dallas. SMU added safeties coach Kyle Ward to the mix. It's maybe not his official title. We'll see what that ends up being. But Kyle Ward, a former South Oak Cliff Golden Bear defensive coordinator, regarded as one of the top minds in DFW and the state of Texas. He coordinated that dominant South Oak Cliff defense that has led them to all these state championships. Obviously worked with Kevin Jennings, who's quarterback at SOC when they won that first state championship to send them on this run. This is a massive pickup for SMU as far as continuing to add to that commitment to Dallas, commitment to keeping the top talent home, commitment to bringing top talent back to Dallas. This was a big deal for Kyle Ward to finally make the jump to the college ranks. He's had multiple opportunities. This has been a long time coming for SMU to win out in his services. When you think about what he brings to the table, he brings such a I think really polished mentality to this defensive backfield that will really work well with Ricky Hunley and Scott Simons. When you think about who he's produced from his secondary at South Oak Cliff, numerous D1 prospects, and that is going to really bring a lot of legitimacy to any dealings that he has with these SMU Mustangs. This isn't, a high school head coach coming into this SMU program that kind of brings a little bit more notoriety in a sense. But man, I could not, if I had to pick out a high school area coach to come into this program, Kyle Ward would have been in that top 3 conversation right off the bat. And that's just a credit to what he's built, his reputation. I think just how he goes about his business is so awesome. And so this is a big, big deal for SMU. This is not going to get enough buzz in a sense, but they certainly made a big move here, getting him into the program and getting him to come to Dallas, or I should say, come up to University Park, because he's been wanted by numerous programs over the last several years, trying to get him to make the jump to the college ranks. And SMU is the one that gets to bring him into the program. So huge, huge deal to get Kyle Ward, and SMU couldn't have made a better call there. Speaking of making a great call, make sure you guys reach out to our friends at Status Jet. We talked about them earlier, but also the LaLa Land Foundation is a great way to kick off your 2026 by getting involved on the charitable side of things. Go to lalalandfoundation.com for more information on how you can get involved. If you've never been to a LaLa Land Kind Cafe, find one, walk in there, experience it. That will give you the idea of why we're so high on our friends at LaLa Land and working with them, because they bring kindness to everything that they do. So really excited about our partnership with them. And when you're sitting there and you're getting ready to go into the business world, like LaLa Land is helping these youth transition into adulthood, there's so many ways that you could support. So of course, you got to look good. And I would encourage you guys to check out our friends at Horn Legend. Great opportunity here for you to revamp your wardrobe. And honestly, if you want to help out people that are in need, you could certainly even donate some Horn Legend. It would be pricey. It would be quite the move. But Horn Legend with our code PONY gets you free shipping. So check out their sports shirts. My wife and I, Michelle, just got their jackets that are just awesome, especially if it's going to be cold anytime soon here in Dallas. They bring it, though, with these sports shirts that look great underneath those jackets. And you can do the button down or the hidden button like I like. Tremendous gear from our friends at Horn Legend. That's HORN legend.com. Get free shipping with code PONY. So we appreciate our friends at Horn Legend for supporting the pod and everything we do. So as we continue on kind of the back half of this transfer portal breakdown here now, SMU wasn't done adding skill positions into this roster. And